Hi everyone. So I'm going to give this a shot. I think that if I do these in the future, I'm going to try and do them outside as much as possible, but it's a little windy today, and I think that's going to pick up on the camera because I'm doing this on my iPhone. So I hope you'll bear with me. This might be a little rocky to start, but we're going to test it out with a little restorative practice. Nothing difficult, beginner friendly. Go at your own pace. If you've been to my classes, you've heard me say this a lot, but if something doesn't feel right or isn't working for you, feel free to find something that does. If something feels really great and you want to stay in that pose, stay there as long as you want. I don't care. I don't care if we're teaching this class in person or through the phone. So I hope that you enjoy, I hope that you relax, and let's get started. We're going to start in just a seated pose, so find something that feels good to you. It could be in just a seated cross-legged position like I am. Legs out front is fine, legs tucked under you is fine, just something that feels good, natural, relaxing. Take a moment to sit up nice and tall, let the shoulders relax down. Focus on lengthening out the spine. Once we find a comfortable seat, we're going to turn the palms up towards the ceiling. Allow the shoulders to grow heavy. We're going to take a big inhale through the nose and a long exhale through the mouth. Big inhale through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. Whenever you're ready, begin with some shoulder rolls, whichever direction feels natural. And switch your direction. Moving up to some neck rolls, circles with the forehead. And switch directions. Rising up through center. Take a big inhale, shoulders lift up to the ears, and exhale, let go. Inhale, lifting it up. Exhale, let go. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, relax. With your next inhale, we're going to lift the arms up over the head. And exhale, cactus arms. Pull those elbows back, pull those shoulder blades together. Open up the chest, really send that chest forward. Big inhale up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. Inhale, lift up. This time, pause. We're going to reach those fingertips up, but then drop the shoulders down. Our right hand is going to go to the left side of the head. Left hand comes down by the side. And we're going to tilt this head to the right. Take a moment here. We should begin to feel a little bit of a stretch down that left side of the neck, down through the shoulder. From here, we're going to place this left hand down, right hand stretches over. Reach those fingertips as far away as you can, but keep that right side of our hip grounded. So we want to feel a big opening in this right side. Feel those rib cages spreading, stretching all the way down through that hip. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Now staying like this, we're going to just rotate that right shoulder back, open the chest up towards the ceiling. Here for 5, 4, 3, and 2. Gently rise up. Both arms sweep up. Left hand to the right side of the head. Right hand comes down. Tilt that head to the left. Stretch that right side of the neck. Weight comes into the right hand, left hand stretches overhead. Again, we're going to stretch really far with those left fingertips, but keep that left hip grounded. Big stretch in the left rib cage and in that left side of our waist and hip. Stretching here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and rotate that shoulder back, lift and open the chest towards the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly wind it back up again. Great job. Roll out those shoulders, loosen up. We're going to take our right hand to the left side of our knee. Left hand comes back, turn our gaze over the left shoulder. We're not forcing this, we're not pushing ourselves, we're just doing a gentle twist of that spine. Take a nice big inhale. Long exhale. Another big inhale, and with our next exhale, we're going to switch sides. Left hand comes to the right, right hand goes back, gaze over that right shoulder. Again, we're not pushing ourselves, just working with the body, not against it. Next exhale, come back to center. Take a nice big breath. Then we're going to come up to our knees. So we're going to come to our knees, coming to our tabletop pose on our mats. Wrists are under the shoulders. Knees are under the hips. Take a moment to find our neutral spine. So we're going to tuck the hips under, pull that belly button up. Eye gaze straight down. Shoulders slide back away from the ears. Take a nice breath. With your next exhale, we're going to arch the back, chin tucks in, cat pose. And drop the belly down, chest comes through, chin rises, cow pose. Exhale for our cat pose. Inhale as we expand that belly and chest for our cow pose. Exhale. And inhale. We're going to find that neutral spine, take some space between the knees, bring the big toes to touch, and let the hips sink back for our first child's pose. Allow yourself to relax here. Take a few deep breaths. Allow the shoulders to relax. Allow the fingertips to soften. Allow the hips to grow heavy. You're going to take a moment here to set your intention for our practice today. Just something that you can focus on, something that allows you to get your mind off of everything else and just to focus on taking this time for yourself, for your mental health, for your physical health, for whatever purpose brought you to the mat today. Resting your forehead down on the mat, maybe rocking your head from side to side, giving yourself a little temple massage with the mat. Maybe take a moment to stretch those fingertips towards the front. lengthening and spreading out those shoulder blades. When you're ready, begin to round that spine as we rise up to our tabletop. Coming back to that neutral spine, knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders, shoulders slide back, tuck the tailbone. Take a big breath. Our right hand is going to stay down. The left hand is going to reach up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, thread it through, reach to the opposite side, but don't lower down. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, thread it through. This time we're going to lower down to that left shoulder. Rest the head down on the mat. If you have a pillow or a block that you need just to bring the ground a little closer to you to make yourself more comfortable, that's totally fine. We're going to keep the hips stacked right over the knees. Our right hand stays down here, or it can reach to the front, or it can reach around behind us towards the left hip, whatever works best for your body. Take a few breaths here, maybe adjust your weight on this left shoulder to find what feels best for you. We're here for about 5 breaths. Whenever you're ready, our right hand is going to come back down to center. Use that hand to press yourself up away from the mat. Come back to center. We're going to take a little intermission here by walking the hands to the front of the mat. Keep those hips stacked over the knees, but let the chest come down towards the mat. Maybe the forehead comes down, maybe it doesn't quite reach the mat, whatever works. We're just letting the shoulders stretch out, opening up the chest and the back. Taking a puppy pose break. And inhale, lifting up, bring those hands back under the shoulders. From here, we're going to switch sides. So our right hand is going to reach up towards the ceiling. And thread it through. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, stretch and reach. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, thread it through, reach and lower down on that right shoulder. Left hand can stay. Left hand can reach forward. Left hand can reach towards the right hip behind us. Whatever feels best, just keep those hips stacked right over the knees and adjust your weight on that right shoulder to find the best stretch for you. Take a few breaths here, settle in, allow those muscles to soften into the stretch. Here for 5. We're going to bring that left hand back to center. Use that hand to press yourself up and away. Returning to our tabletop. From here, our right foot is going to go out behind us. Lift it up nice and high. Point through those toes. Now, I've sprained my right ankle, so I'm not pointing as far as I can normally, but you want to be pointing those toes, feeling a nice stretch here. And then we're going to take those right toes all the way over to the left. tap down and then turn our gaze towards those right toes, feeling a little stretch on the right side of the body. Turning our eye gaze back to center. We're going to draw a line with those right toes all the way over to the right side. Plant down the inner arch of that right foot and then send the hips back for a little stretch. And inhale, rising up, right knee comes in. From here, we are going to move into a little hip opener. So we're going to lift this right knee up to the side, like a fire hydrant, but not quite. We're going to draw some circles with that knee. Open up those hips. And switch directions. You might feel a couple little cracks and creaks here as we're opening up, making some big movements. And right knee comes down, switching sides. Left knee goes up, draw those circles. And switch directions. And left knee comes down. Coming back to center, left foot goes back. Lift it up, point through those toes, feel a lengthening in that leg, then take it over to the right, tap it down, turn your gaze to those toes. And then coming back to center, we're going to draw that circle with those left toes all the way around to the left side. Plant down that inner arch, send the hips back for our stretch. And lifting up, bring that knee back in. Take a moment here, maybe draw a circle with those hips. Switch your direction. And come back to center. We're going to tuck our toes under. Spread weight through to the fingertips as we lift those hips up and back towards the back of the room for our downward dog. Take a moment for our alignment. We want those heels directly behind the toes. The heels do not need to meet the ground. Head is in line with the arms. Eye gaze straight forward. So the back is a straight line from the top of the head all the way to the tailbone. Take a few moments here. Maybe start pedaling out the knees. Making some movements with the ankles, whatever feels good. Again, I'm being a little gentle today because of my sprained ankle, but just work with your body. Find some movement here that feels good, that feels like we're stretching what we need to be stretching. With your next exhale, we're going to lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. Point through those toes. With an exhale, knee comes into the chest. Send it back up. Exhale, bring it in. Send it back up. This time, exhale, step it through. Left knee comes down. Hinge the hips forward, sink down into the hips, lift and open the chest. Take a moment to relax the arms. We don't want to push down with those hands. We want to be stretching in the hips. Relax the shoulders, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Turn our eye gaze up. Take a few breaths. With your next exhale, we're going to hinge back, straighten out the right leg, bring those right toes up towards the face. And come forward, stack that knee over the ankle, left toes tuck, lift that left knee up off the ground, let the hip sink back down. Whenever you're ready, we're going to take our right foot and step back to our plank pose. Plank pose, always an option with the knees down. Just keep a straight line from the top of the head to the knees, or if we're lifted, top of the head to the heels. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift up, downward dog. We're going to have a little chaturanga break here. So taking a moment, if chaturanga is in your practice or you would like to incorporate it in for this practice, feel free to exhale out to our plank pose, lower down 90 degrees or all the way. Inhale, lift, upward dog. And press back, downward dog. Taking our breath here, left foot lifts up, point through that toe. Exhale, knee comes into the chest. And send it back up. Exhale, bring it in. Send it up. And exhale, step it through. Right knee comes down. Hinge forward into those hips. Lift and open the chest. Drop the shoulders. Turn our eye gaze up. Take a few breaths. Let the hips grow heavy. Soften the arms. Let your body feel the stretch. With your next exhale, hinge back, left toes reach up towards the face as that leg straightens out. And hinge it forward, stack that knee over the ankle. Tuck the right toes under, right knee lifts up, and whenever you're ready, left foot steps back, plank pose. For 3, 2, and inhale, lift up, downward dog. Take a nice little breath here in our downward dog. Maybe add that little pedal. Whenever you're ready, hinge out to our plank pose. We're going to drop the knees down to our modified plank pose and then gently lower all the way down to the mat. With an inhale, lift the chest up for our baby cobra. So we're going to slide those shoulders back, pinch those shoulder blades together, lift and open the chest. Maybe the hands stay down, maybe they hover. For 3, 2, and relax down. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra for 3, 2, and 1, lower down. This time we have that option to lift up to our baby cobra or lift up full cobra. Lengthen through those arms. Keep a soft bend in the elbows just so that we're not locking or hyperextending. Shoulders drop down away from the ears. Lift that gaze for 3, 2, and 1. Lower down nice and slow. We're going to lift our gaze up. Left arm comes to the front of the mat. Right hand reaches back for that right foot. We're going to pull that heel in towards the glute for a little stretch. Really traditional little stretch here. Everyone's done. And we're going to gently switch sides. Right hand comes forward, left hand goes back to the left foot. Hug that leg in towards the glute. Take a few breaths. Let your body stretch. And gently release. Both hands come to the sides. We're going to lift up to that modified plank pose. And then exhale, hinge back to our child's pose. Take a few breaths in our child's pose here. Allow yourself to relax. Maybe add some space between the knees. Allow the belly to sink down between the thighs. Soften the shoulders and the fingers. Maybe the forehead is on the mat. Maybe our cheek is on the mat. Allow the eyes to close. Allow the mind to settle and bring its focus back to our breath, back to our intention. In our child's pose, we're going to have the option here to walk those fingers towards the right edge of the mat, stretching out that left side. And gently walk those hands to the left side, stretching out the right side of the body. And coming back to center. We can stay right here, or we can bring the palms together, leaving the elbows down on the mat. Lift the hands up behind the head for what I like to call our shark fin stretch, for obvious reasons. And when they're ready, relax those arms down. Begin to round the spine as we rise up to a seated position. We're going to bring our legs out front. So, with our legs out front, take a moment, press through the heels, pull the toes back, and maybe inch the bottom away so that we lengthen out the legs as much as we can. We're going to sit up nice and tall, shoulders drop down, nice long spine, staff pose, relax the arms, take a big inhale, exhale, relax, and inhale, arms reach up. Reach those hands up, drop the shoulders down. When you're ready, with your next exhale, hinge it forward, but we're keeping that length. Keep the top of the head in a long line down to the hips, down to the tailbone. Once we find where our body naturally wants to start curling, stop and relax the arms down. We want to keep the chest open. We want to keep the chin lifted. We want to keep that long line from the top of the head all the way down. Take a few breaths here. If you have a strap in your practice, feel free to pull the strap around the legs here if you want to pull yourself down a little further. But that's not what you have to do. This class is just about relaxing, and you can get just as good of a stretch, just like this, letting gravity do all the work for you. When you're ready, begin to inhale as we rise up. Right knee comes in towards the chest. So we have an option here. We can keep the right foot right here on the inside of the left thigh, or we can take that right foot out to the outer edge of the left thigh. Our left hand has two options as well. We can take that left hand and wrap it around the right knee, or we can take our left elbow to the outside of the right leg. Right hand comes around behind us. Turn your gaze over that right shoulder for a very intense spinal twist. With your next exhale, gently release. Right leg goes out long, switching sides. Left knee comes in. We can keep it here. We can cross it over. Right hand can wrap around or take the elbow to the outside. Left hand comes back. Turn our gaze for our twist. unwind back to center. Take that leg out long. We're going to bring the knees to a bend, bring the bottoms of the feet together. We're not pressing the knees down, but we're just gently letting them fall with gravity. So they can be up as high as you want, they can be down as low as you want. If you want to tuck blocks or pillows under the knees, that's totally fine. Just take a moment to find our butterfly. Sit up nice and tall, let the shoulders relax, let the eyes close. We're just going to add a little pressure with the thumbs, maybe to the arches, other areas of the foot, up to the ankles or the calves, wherever it feels good. Just adding a little extra to this self-care. Bringing a little attention back to our breath. Bringing our inhales deep through the belly, in through the nose, and keeping our exhales long, slowly releasing through the mouth. When you're ready, we're going to bring the knees together, plant the feet down on the mat. Hands come behind the thighs. We're going to press the chest forward, lift the chest, lift the gaze, shoulders come back. And exhale, arch the back, chin tucks in, shoulders round forward. Inhale, lift up like a seated cow pose. Exhale, rounded back, seated cat pose. Inhale, lifting up. This time with our exhale, we're coming all the way down to our backs, bringing the knees into the chest. Once we have the knees into the chest, we're going to draw some circles with the knees. This is just loosening up that lower back, giving the lower back a little massage, but also grounding ourselves. And then switch directions. With your next inhale, we're going to send the legs up towards the ceiling, press through the heels, pull those toes down towards you, and then point. And then flex. And point. And flex. Move at your own pace here. Just continue pointing and flexing. And then find stillness. We can keep the hands on the backs of the thighs, or you can relax them down by our sides. We're just taking a few moments here, quote unquote, legs up a wall. Allowing the blood to drain down from the toes. From here, we're going to bring the right knee into the chest and let the left leg go all the way down. We're going to hug this right knee into the chest, again, holding on behind the thigh or on the shin, but avoiding the kneecap. Holding here for a couple breaths. When and if it feels good, we can open this right knee out to the right side, just opening up the hips some for a moment. And when and if it feels ready, and then when and if you're ready, we're going to cross this right leg over and down onto the left side for a little spinal twist. Once we're here, we're going to keep our right hip stacked over the left. Once we're here, we want to make sure we keep our right shoulder grounded. So as soon as that right shoulder starts to lift up, we're just going to bring the right leg back some. Then we want to extend the right arm out to the side, palm turned up towards the ceiling. Turn your gaze towards those right fingertips and allow the body to settle in. Allow yourself to just relax into the pose. If you feel like you need to make any adjustments or movements here with limbs, legs, arms, feel free to do so. Some people might like to extend out their right leg or bend their left leg. Whatever works for you. From here, we're going to come back to center. Both knees come into the chest. Left knee stays in, right leg goes down. Hugging that left knee in, behind the thigh or on the shin, avoiding the kneecap. Here for a couple breaths. And then whenever you're ready, if you're ready, we're going to let that left leg open out to the side, opening up the hips. Here for 3, 2, 1, and then crossing that left leg over down onto the right side, keeping that left shoulder grounded, extending the left arm out to the left, palm up, and turning our gaze to those left fingertips for our spinal twist. Here for 5 full deep breaths. We're going to gently come back towards center. Planting both feet down on the mat. Take a moment to untuck the tailbone. Gently ground ourselves through that lower back. Tuck the shoulders under. We're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together and let the knees separate for our supine butterfly. We can stay here just like this. Let gravity do the work. Let your body relax. Hands can go wherever they feel natural. If you'd like to add in a little traction release here, you can take the pads of your palms and press them against where the thighs meet the hip bone, and then push the lower half of the body away from the upper half. If you feel any kind of pain or strain here, feel free to stop at any time. This is just a little traction relief. Sometimes people with a little lower back pain or a little tension can feel definite release here, definite relaxing. And whenever you're ready, just gently relax. As we finish up today's practice, we're going to move into a personalized Savasana. This means that you're going to go into whatever pose you feel the most relaxed. It could be remaining here in supine butterfly. It could be with our knees bent. If our knees are bent, I want you to move your feet to the outer edges and then let the knees meet together in the center so that you're not using any energy to hold your legs up. And of course, we always have our traditional Savasana pose, legs out long, arms by our sides, palms up. As you find what works best for you, which can be any of those poses as well as any of the poses that you find feel the most relaxing for yourself. I want you to make any adjustments, modifications. Feel free to untuck that tailbone, tuck the shoulder blades under, get any wiggles out. And once you're ready, we're going to begin with just a little bit of a full body relaxation. Starting with a big, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Relaxing the toes, maybe giving them a little wiggle or a curl, and soften. Relax the arches of the feet. Feel the pressure of the heels pressing into the ground beneath us. If our legs are out long, allow the ankles to relax and the feet to fall away from one another. Notice the kneecaps, maybe give them a squeeze and soften. Notice any tension in the hips. Allow the hips to feel like they're opening, melting into the ground, into the mat beneath us. Bring in another big, deep inhale. This time, notice it filling the belly, lifting that belly button as high as we can to the ceiling. And with our exhale through the mouth, release and drop that belly button down to the spine. Repeating that. Bring that big inhale in, lift that belly button, fill the belly with as much air as you can, and then slowly let it go, dropping that belly button down, releasing tension. Notice the fingertips and the palms. Maybe give them a big squeeze, make big fists really tight, and then slowly relax. Open up the palms, turn the palms towards the ceiling if they weren't already. Notice the weight of the elbows in the mat beneath you. Notice the rise and the fall of the chest with our breath, the gentle movement of clothing with every inhale and every exhale. Soften the shoulders and take a moment to notice if we can add a little space between the shoulders and the ears. Maybe an inch or two down, lengthen the arms a little further towards the bottom of the mat. Relax the jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Allow the lips to soften and part. Relax the cheekbones. Soften the eyelids. And bring your attention to the center of the forehead. As we near the end of this practice, we're taking the last few moments to set a new intention, something that we can take with us for the rest of the day, maybe the next few days or the next week. Just something that we can carry with us, something positive that we can carry just for ourselves, but also that we can put out into the energy of the world around us. Feel free to stay in our Savasana for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to begin to come out and rejoin the world, add a little wiggle to the fingers and the toes. Maybe rock the head from ear to ear, feeling that pressure on the back of the head. Bring a little bend to the knees, planting the feet back onto our mat. In whatever way is most accessible to you, we're going to meet in a seated position. This could be rocking yourself up, pressing yourself up, rolling to the right side and using our left hand to push yourself up. But we're just rising to a seated position, eyes closed, hands at heart center. With an inhale, bring the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, release. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, relax. Inhale, squeeze. And exhale, let go. Thank you for joining this practice with me. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Please stay positive. The energy and the light in me honors the energy and the light in you. Namaste.